Okay, hello everyone, welcome to my video. And first, I want to introduce myself. My name is Indraya, and in this video, I want to review about a book.
The title of this book is I'm Malala with the author named Malala Yousafzai, and this book has 288 pages, and the type of this book is autobiography. And actually the setting of the story was happened in 1997 and this book published in 2013. Malala's father was a founder of local school. From young age, Malala demonstrates strong character, and she asking her father why women were being so poorly in Pakistan, where Taliban burned schools for girls and forced women for wear full burqa. And then in 8 October 2005, Pakistan was hit by one of the worst earthquakes, and the religious groups preaching that this disaster was a warning from God and that Pakistan needed to change its ways. Some imams say that they want to warn all of the citizens would suffer from even worse earthquake in the future. Then, to spread their messages to a wider audience, some imams began producing their own radio shows on illegal waves. And then Faizullah, one of them, begged listeners to stop listening to music, stop going to the movies, and stop dancing. He said if we didn't do that, God would stronger gives us an earthquake to Pakistan. Malala didn't agree with his statement because she knew that the earthquakes were a geological event and scientifically explainable. And most of the women who listened to the program had not had the benefit of education and viewed this radio. So that made Faizullah's radio sermon gain popularity and his shows became known as radio. A few months later, the doorbell rang at Malala's, and someone claiming to be an Islamic scholar wanted to talk to her father. He told that Malala's father should be closed the high school for women. And Faizullah also declared that women should stay at home and only go out in case of emergency and only if they were wearing burqa. As time passed, Faizullah grew more and more assertive. Then, over the 2 years after the earthquake that happened in Pakistan, Faizullah became more powerful. And then one day he announced that school for girls were haram. And one of the transformational moments in this book was the assassination Pakistan Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto. She was the first female of a Muslim nation, and after 2 months of her return at 1996, she was killed in an explosion at one of her events on television. And this time, Malala realized that no one's safe in Pakistan. And from this point to Malala, who was 10 years old at that time, began displaying her courage. And at first, she continuing to go to school and later by speaking out against the Taliban. And then at 11 years old, she began writing a diary for the BBC to be read by people outside of her country in order to tell them about the situation in Pakistan. And then in 2012, one of her speeches led up to a group of Taliban militants stopping her bus and on the way and shooting her in her head. And but thankfully, she survived. Although she has fled her country and now lives in the United Kingdom. And my opinion about this book was written in a very accessible way, but sometimes I would feel horrified by what she lived through and impressed that she kept going despite the circumstance. And she does a great job of showing the daily life in Pakistan under the Taliban's rule. And then she pointing out the issues and talking about her fight for women's rights. And after I read her book, I can learn about one thing that everyone should listen her voice about women's rights. and she used her grief and her tragic past to build a cause and help solve the problems she sees as the most pressing. And from her book, we can learn about the testament to the power each and every one of us has to make the world a more equal place. What did you like best about this book? This book is very inspiring, and from this book I can find it a coincidence that the legend Malala found in the Wizard of Oz book and the legend that I found in this book. And I think the hardest part of her life is when Taliban with her. It is I can appreciate everything that she did for women's rights. And from this book, I can find a really unfair thing about what Taliban are doing, and they blame religion for their action and give it bad names. That's so bad. And what did you like least about this book? I think that I did not enjoy this book as much as I want to, because I feel like I was in organizing a history class that will never end. And then I think her story is amazing and her courage remarkable. Her pride and vision inspiring out the book itself. I want to be an old mix of political and historical fact and personal reflection that didn't quite gel for me. I will give rate this book for over 4 because I think she did a great job to fight women's rights in her country in a very young age. I think that when it happened, she was 15 years old. So I think I must appreciate everything that she did for her country. I mean, for women's rights in her country in at the very young age. That was so cool, man. Okay, I think that's all my review. Thank you to all of you who got to the end of this video. And I think this is the last video for review book. And I would say thank you to my lecturer. I hope that I have to